Hi folks, Kate Cashman here from katecashman.com. I wanted to take the opportunity to record this particular video early this morning here in Tasmania. What that might mean though, and I hope that it doesn't, is that we might get some of the chickens and the roosters next door coming through. I hope that's not the case. But if we do, I sincerely apologise. That's life in Tasmania, especially early in the morning where I live in the bush. But having said that, it's probably actually quite relevant to the topic that I'm talking about today, and that is about rituals. So like the chickens and the roosters who have their ritual, I really wanted to talk about how rituals can create change and I suppose create abundant energy in your life as well. And I read something the other day that said that if you want to live an extraordinary life, you have to have extraordinary rituals. Now, I love the word ritual over the word routine. I don't necessarily have any problem with the word routine, but I just feel like the word rituals is something that myself and even a lot of my clients tend to prefer because it has that connotation of that beautiful self-care element that so many of us are craving in our connection to ourselves. So, well, what is a ritual? Rituals are things that you perform, actions that you do, that you give conscious intention to, or you have conscious intention when you're doing them. So it might be that you're using a ritual to set yourself up for the day. And I'm going to do a video on my morning routine and the importance of morning routines later in the blog and video blog series. But it can be to set yourself up for the day, or it could just be reflections, mini reflections throughout the day, using that conscious intention to see how what you've done has made you feel, where you want to be going, what you want to be doing. And what rituals do is they channel energy towards what you truly want. So it might be a ritual around morning meditation and thinking about your day and what you're going to be doing for the rest of the day. It might be a ritual around making your first cup of coffee and just thinking about every step, you know, whether it's consciously drawing attention to putting your sugar in the cup and sitting and enjoying that coffee. That's a morning ritual that might bring a lot more peace and focus into your morning and into your day. Whatever the ritual might be, I think it's also important to know that any routine or activity that you currently do, whether it's what you might see as a chore or I suppose just an everyday activity, you can make it more luxurious if you throw that conscious intention towards it and if you, I suppose, add reflection to it. So for me, one of the things that I used to hate was vacuuming. What I do now when I vacuum is I use it as an opportunity to crank up my music, play really loud music and dance around the house with my vacuum. And so I've gone from not really enjoying the process of vacuuming to actually really loving the time to get a bit of energy out, to have a bit of a sing and just to be completely silly and hope that no one delivers me packages to the door while I'm doing it. But if they do, whatever. So you can either create that conscious intention and reflection into tasks that you do every day, and that's an element of mindfulness too, really. What you're doing is being mindful, but you might also create new actions that you cultivate as rituals. So it might be that you spend 10 minutes before the house wakes creating a morning ritual for yourself that makes you feel set up for the day. It might be after you've done your bedtime routines, things like, you know, brushing your teeth, washing your face, getting ready for bed. It might be a beautiful ritual of how you disconnect with your day and get yourself ready for bed. Whatever it might be, I think the most important things to think about when it comes to rituals is that you need to create the right environment. Make it as easy for you as possible to create that conscious intention in those actions. Create the right environment, pick the right time. So the best times that you're functioning, if you're a morning person, utilise that time to create a beautiful morning routine, or similarly in the evening, find the right times in your working day. to take 5 minutes out to create a ritual of what you do every day to create energy and focus on that. So find the times perhaps where you're waning in energy and utilize that time to create a ritual. And the last thing that I really want to touch on when it comes to, or two more things that I want to touch on when it comes to creating rituals is, first of all, done is better than perfect. Now, I know that I and a lot of my clients, they often feel that if they can't complete their full hour-long morning ritual, then, well, what's the point in doing it? Or that they feel like they've failed, or that they don't have quite the same connection with their day as if they've been able to have their full hour. But what I often think is, like with anything in life, if we wait till something's perfect, we'll often never finish it. So for me, it's the same with PhD writing. Done is better than perfect. It might be doing something before you're ready, but the same goes for rituals. So just crafting out, if you wake up half an hour later than you might normally and you have a beautiful morning ritual, cut the amount of time that you spend on each item or action in that routine, but still give yourself the opportunity to feel that connection and to feel close to your reflections and intentions for the day. And the last thing that I wanted to point out is that really it's all about changing the way you feel. So rituals might take mundane or everyday tasks, or they might be creating new actions in your life that are quite luxurious self-care routines and creating rituals around those. But however it is, it's what is it that you want to feel? Because we have total power over how we feel. And it's almost like you just have to switch that intention to a conscious intention to use that time for reflection, for going inwards, for being thankful, for being grateful, all of those things. So change up those routines that you have in your life. If there's something you don't enjoy doing particularly much, you might be able to find ways to change it into a ritual. Or I encourage you to look for lots of different ways that might help you feel the way that you want to feel, whether that's a morning routine, evening routine, or rituals throughout the day to keep your energy high. I'd love to hear if you do create rituals or if you have any beautiful rituals. And if you don't, I definitely encourage you to start exploring. I'll be back next week, and I hope you all have a fantastic week. Until then, bye for now.